if you truly practice like that level of gratitude or embracing the emotions of your future, you're literally, if you understand, you're changing your gene expression when you're doing it. You're strengthening your immune system when you do it. All of a sudden, you start to see all these fundamental benefits that are a side effect of your efforts. It's going to become something that you want to do all the time, something that you look forward to. And I think that that's why we're here. I think, and when you truly get to that point, like it's an unlearning. We're hypnotized. We're conditioned into believing we need a reason for gratitude or joy, and consumerism makes it really clear, right? Until I get that, I'm this. But what if you've been creating, and every time you have the thought of your future, you've done it so many times it makes you feel like you're connected to your future? Well, that's a conditioning as well. If you have the thought of your future and you feel the lack that it's not there, then you're back to the victim, right? But if you can have the thought, and the thought actually produces, just like fear, the thought of something terrible happening in your life creates the feeling of fear, the thought of something wonderful in your life creating the feeling of gratitude. Then when you think about your future, you begin to emotionally condition your body into that future. Now here's the payoff. Thoughts are the electrical charge in the quantum field, and feelings are the magnetic charge in the quantum field. And how you think and how you feel broadcasts information and energy into the field, so into the unified field. So the question is, what are you broadcasting every single day? So then, we know that once you begin to self-regulate and you begin to open your heart, just in that small exercise that we did, the act of creating that kind of coherence in your heart begins to produce a measurable magnetic field up to 3 meters wide. That heart is actually producing a resonance. That energy, that frequency carries information. And when your heart is open, this is our center of oneness. This is our center of wholeness. This is the union of polarity and duality. This is the connection of opposites. So when the heart starts to become activated and we start to feel whole, and it begins to put that energetic pattern into the field, that frequency can carry the thought of your health. It can carry the thought of your wealth. The frequency of suffering carries different thoughts. It can't carry the thought of health. 70% of the time, people live in survival, live in stress. And that invisible field of electromagnetism that's surrounding the body, that resource of energy, is going to be squandered into chemistry. Every time you react, the field around your body shrinks a little bit more, and you become more matter, less energy, more particle, less wave. And then the hormones of stress cause you to narrow your focus on the cause. So when you narrow your focus on the cause, you're focusing on the particle in quantum physics, matter, and your senses are so conditioned into focusing on matter that you're beginning to experience separation. So the more I live by the hormones of stress, the more I have separation. There's separation between me and you, and my senses are fooling me into it. But the unified field says there is no separation. So then, if you're addicted to those emotions and they're heightening your senses, that's what they do in survival, and you become a materialist, and your field around your body is shrinking, then you're going to feel separate from the quantum field, and it's going to take a long time for you to create what you want, because you're separate from the field, and you will be matter trying to change matter. So the moment you begin to activate this center, this is our connection. This is our first connection to the unified field. The moment energy moves into this center, and we've measured this, the field around the body expands, and once there's energy in the heart, guess where it goes? Straight up to the brain. The heart acts as an amplifier, and literally it begins to increase energy in the brain. So now, once that field begins to expand and you get beyond, you take all of your attention off your body, off people in your life, the things you own, the place you need to be in time itself, and you become pure consciousness, and you take all of your attention out of this three-dimensional reality, out of the known, and you start putting your attention on that field. There is a technique that we teach to do that, and you begin to feel connected from that field. Now, the faster the frequency, the higher the emotion you feel, the shorter amount of time it's going to take for it to appear in your life, because the faster the frequency, the closer you're getting to oneness and wholeness. So then when you teach people how to get beyond all of the elements in this three-dimensional reality and begin to open their heart, Their heart, that frequency is their connection to the field. The moment they open their heart, they become more energy than matter, more wave than particle. And now that becomes the amplifier that begins to generate a whole new set of thoughts, a whole new consciousness. And that heart center then makes us want to serve, makes us want to take care of one another, to inform one another, to help one another, to give to one another, to heal one another. That's what creates unity. We know this to be the case. We've taken 1,000 people in a room. We've set 50 people in the front of the room wearing HRV monitors, heart rate monitors, and we've told the entire audience to move into heart coherence and brain coherence and have the intent for the greatest good for the people sitting in the front of the room. In a matter of seconds, all their hearts go into coherence at the exact same time, in the exact same day, in the exact same meditation. They're being influenced by energy, and their autonomic nervous system is being entrained to a new frequency. So imagine then, you begin to change your energy, you begin to affect many people in your life. And that now you're creating from the field. So imagine then, if you're feeling connected to all possibilities, then it makes sense then that once you're connected, you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. It's none of your business. And the closer you get to source, the more you can surrender and go deeper, the more connected you are. Then how it plays out in three-dimensional reality, leave it up to the greater mind and just live as if your future has already happened. Try it out. I mean, see what happens. It's a footprint for you to step into. And as we've seen that, we've seen the footprints of people who have healed themselves of cancer, and it's in the field, and they step into those same footprints. But we also have evidence in three-dimensional reality, and you see the woman who's now MS free, and now the evidence in three-dimensional reality says, I have permission to do it. So it's in the field, and it's in three-dimensional reality, and it should be in both. That's the evidence we need to know that it's possible. And the cool part about it is that nobody is excluded from it. What you do is, if you want to desensitize someone to a fear of something, you have them imagine being in it and working on practicing surrendering to the fear or getting beyond the fear, relaxing and calming down. And so you're breaking, it's called inhibition. You start inhibiting that conditioning process because you're having the thought and you're choosing to not feel that emotion or begin to self-regulate a new emotion. And the research shows that if you do that properly, there are afferent fibers from the heart that go right to the amygdala, straight to the amygdala. And what it does is it shuts the lights out for fear. It lowers the volume for pain and suffering. And it cools off the circuits for that kind of tenacity and aggression. And what happens is you get this resetting of a baseline. And so now the person is more safe, that they're not anticipating the next threat, the next danger. They're not looking around the corner for the predator. Their body's not in that vigilance. Their body's more in the present moment. And so you begin to desensitize yourself when you confront the fear or you confront the possible scenario and you begin to choose a different emotion or you break from that emotion. And because people do they do the opposite really well. They think about the worst thing that's going to happen to them in their lives, and then they say, no, it could even get worse. And they begin to emotionally feel the fear before it happens. And they're conditioning their brain and body to subconsciously become the mind of fear. Do it enough times, and your body is going to have a panic attack without you. Try as you may to control it with your conscious mind. You won't be able to because you programmed it subconsciously. And then you start worrying about the next time it's going to happen. And it's that very, very state of being that begins to create the next one. And so then the doctor says it's chemical imbalance in your brain. It's a hardware problem. Well, the insight doesn't change anything. And when you have that first panic attack and you're in the supermarket, the moment you feel that change in your inner state, you're looking around to see in your outer environment what's causing it. And you think it's an airplane or it's a supermarket. And so then, you take the drug, but the drug doesn't heal the condition. In fact, you'll still stay away from supermarkets or airplanes. So then it's a software problem. Your father was overbearing. perfectionist. He was really hard on you. So now you have the insight. My father was overbearing. Does it heal it? No. So then you go to the psychic. The psychic says that you were burned at the stake in the 1500s. You were a charismatic Christian in the south of France. Oh, yeah, now you start reaffirming, yeah, this is why I am this way. Or Mercury's in retrograde. Really? 93 million miles away, some planet is controlling who that's what's reason for my fear. People will come up with all kinds of reasons, but sooner or later, you're going to have to confront yourself. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brain scans of people who have had anxiety and that just don't have it anymore. These are professionals. These are dentists, engineers. These are nurses, people that really were struggling a great deal with it. You cannot be anxious if you're in the present moment, and it's just a skill. So I think that we can use it in a positive way. Or what am I going to do if I feel that? I mean, we have activities in every one of our week-long events where we know that people can do brain and heart coherence. We got the scans to prove it, and then we say, okay. Now that we know that you can do it, let's go 38 floors up on the hotel and let's rappel off the side of the hotel. And this is not about an adrenal rush. This is actually about the opposite. We got heart rate monitors on them, and this is the moment. This is a moment when you're standing up there. Can you breathe? Can you stay in your body? Can you relax? And the more you rehearse, I always say to them, what are you going to do when you get up there? Because if you don't know what you're going to do up there, you're going to throw a program in there and you're going to get fearful and go unconscious. But if you can stay conscious and you're reviewing what you're going to do and you start practicing, you're priming your brain and body for that experience. So what's the significance of that? Overcome that in brain and heart coherence, you'll walk into your life and you'll use the same thing in the same circumstances when you're faced with fear in your life, and you won't be gripped by it. And if you just went off 38 floors in heart and brain coherence and you mastered it, you probably will look at the problems in your life as so much less intimidating than what you just did, and people leave their fears. So we want to put them in situations that would normally evoke a strong emotion or a program and say, yeah, that's natural, that's normal, but what would supernatural do? So let's practice that. And so we have a challenge activity. That's where I just came from. And again, putting people in those situations where they don't think they can go any further, and then they go further.
Wow, what an amazing speech by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let's dance with life. We are continuing with our daily practice of completing the inspiring quotes. You need to complete the quote with the words that are missing, and if you can do it first and give us the right answer, you're the daily winner. In the previous video we were looking for 2 words. of Joe Dispenza's quote. The quote goes like this: "The hormones of stress cause us to believe that the outer world is more real than the..." The correct answer is inner world. So, the hormones of stress cause us to believe that the outer world is more real than the inner world. Congratulations to everyone with the correct answer. We only had a few wrong answers. Since I know you love Dr. Joe Dispenza, today's quote is also from Joe Dispenza. We are looking for two words. So the quote goes like this: "When you get uncomfortable in the place of the unknown, that's where the..." Write your answers in the comments below the video and tell me if you love this video and our new way of ending the videos. If you like this video, give your thumbs up and share it with your friends. Help me make this video more popular by sharing it. Even if you're not sure what the correct answer is, try and guess. The first one with the correct answer is the winner. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button and don't miss any of the new videos and new challenges. If you really like what we do here and want to support us, you can join our channel and our community for a symbolic fee and gain many other additional features. You can do that by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Stay good and have a great day!